Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as we always do. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Turn my headphones up a little bit there so I can hear myself. There we go. Good. Now, you know what this is. This is our we're back. This is our second week being back after I had to go through school, had to do the little school work and stuff like that. They had to do all that stuff. And good morning, be more. Good morning. Be more careful. Good morning. Be more careful. The phone lines are open. If you get an opportunity, we love to have you as a part of the conversation. All you have to do is dial 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're going to have today is Way Out Wednesday. We talk about a whole lot of different topics on Wednesday. And if you have a topic that you would like to talk about, give us a call at 508-924-3521. We'll talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about and talk about it in its entirety. Good morning, Fox 13. Good morning. Glad to have you this morning. Glad to have you. I'm wondering what I got to do to get some of them. Y'all be getting the little stars and little gifts and all kind of stuff on this app. I'm still trying to figure out how it works, but if y'all get an opportunity, show me some of that love as well. Show me some of that love. Let me have some things running across the screen and all kind of stuff. Y'all know how that stuff works. I don't know. Good morning, John. How you doing this morning, John? Good to have you. Good to have you. This is Way Out Wednesday. This is Way Out Wednesday. Like I said, we're here every day. Way Out Wednesday is the day that we open up the phone line. Get a little crazy. It's not as organized, if you will, as rest of the week. And Captain Leonard is here with us. We got Captain Leonard. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Hey man, look here. I got a question for you, man. I heard some
Yeah,
things. I heard some things, man, that coming in this morning, and I caught up on a little bit of it last night as well. Man, look, why are they trying to make this January 6th situation go away as if it is never happened? Why are they trying to do that?
for the very simple fact that so many people are involved.
Mm-hmm.
What is necessary in this situation is that everybody that is sympathetic towards January the 6th,
Mm-hmm.
everyone who there is evidence that they supported it, whether they supported it financially, supported it in other ways as well on the news, did rallies for it or whatever, need to be under investigation. And they
Mm-hmm.
also need to be taken into custody because they tried to launch a coup against the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
They need to
Mm.
throw all their butts in Guantanamo Bay and treat
Wow.
them like enemy combatants of the United States government,
Mm-hmm.
just like they would do any other terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
That's what needs to be happening. And the reason why they're trying to hold it off is because there are so many Republican government officials that are involved and that supported the situation. They
Yeah.
pledged allegiance to the actual person that tried to overthrow the government of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
kill we travel the world and kill people for this.
Wow.
That's what America does. But now
Mm-hmm.
when these white Americans do this, now they're trying to figure out every way possible, some of them, to get them
Mm-hmm.
not just to remain in power, but just to make this investigation go away. This was the main problem with Reconstruction. You
Mm-hmm.
allowed the Confederacy to still hold power.
Mm-hmm.
So you can expect with the next upcoming election for them to try to overthrow the government again
Wow.
because they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
They're still doing what they do every day. And one, most people need to start talking about it for that very reason.
Right. Overthrow the
Those
government again. Mm-hmm.
those Republicans that supported Trump need to be arrested and held as enemy combatants of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm.
of them, because they pledged their allegiance to Trump,
Yeah. Yeah.
not to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why would we? Who would still want them to be in power? They obviously have to already be halfway in power in order to still be there. That's those judges that they appointed.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying people to, they're even paying people to, they support people to run against Democrats as well in
Yes.
various elections. They're trying to seat Republican governors that will overthrow the next election if it
Mm.
does not turn out in Republican favor. That is the strategy. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you can just sit back and don't do anything or not vote or turn out overwhelming, like say right here in Georgia, and she should be governor, she should be governor. Go out and vote like she should be governor.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Don't talk about it. Make sure you be about it, and make sure you take
Mm-hmm.
everybody with you to vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
We don't allow no talk whatsoever around us as it relates to this type of insurrection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as usual, just like you see in the regular courts, when they try to get these young white boys off for doing whatever it is that they do and come up with some excuse for them. Same thing they're trying to do to these big white boys in office.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in power for a long time because those representative seats are still represented by half of America.
Come on.
That's why they're still in office, because half America are still, pardon the French, racist assholes.
Mm-hmm. Hey. Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple as that. No sense in guessing or whatever. I know you got to make your money on the media and talk about it over and over and over and over and over again. But
Mm-hmm.
something has to change. So
Yeah.
hopefully, these various courts that are, like, say, for instance, there's always still they're pursuing Trump. I think he just lost a legal battle as it relates to his tax returns and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But there should already have been a law created to keep him from running for office again. This man shouldn't even be qualified to run for public office. He shouldn't.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I ain't saying nothing because I'm agreeing with you. Absolutely.
Right. So
100%. Yes,
one,
sir.
like when people talk about, I'm fighting for my country, I'm America this, and country ain't crap.
Mm-hmm.
What are you fighting against this person who tried to overthrow the government? Are you
No.
gung ho about that?
Mm-mm.
No.
Ain't said a word.
Ain't said a word.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you'll suit up and put on your uniform and your guns and everything and go over there to kill black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
What is America doing about this threat right here?
Not a thing.
This threat that has been around since my people were freed from slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come on
Mm-hmm.
now. It's these people shouldn't even be in office. And I'm reminding people, they're in office because still in 2021, half of the voting population supported that type of
Mm-hmm.
behavior.
Exactly. Exactly. And they did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they want and they're so hesitant to punish them, which is why we need people in positions that will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, for instance, when you're talking to your people interested in being district attorneys in your areas, ask them one question: will you have a problem prosecuting the police for misconduct?
Mm-hmm. And if the answer is
Well, if the
yes.
answer is yes, then don't vote for them
Mm-hmm.
because they have a conflict in interest with doing the right thing. You cannot
Or
have people in power whose conflict of interest is doing the right thing.
if they try to dance around it.
Yes, let them know
Mm-hmm.
you won't tolerate it. Okay, I won't be voting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me yes or
Exactly.
no, and I'll deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Answer the
Tell me,
question.
answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you answer the question?
Yeah.
That's one
Mm-hmm.
of the main things you can tell, how sincere people are. Answer the
Mm-hmm.
questions that's asked. And if you don't know the answer, say you don't know.
Exactly.
Just say you
I'll
don't
find
know.
it. I'll find. I'll do some research and I'll find out, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it or not, there are some people in this justice system that don't believe you should bring all evidence to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Suppress evidence that proves your innocence or guilt for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have a system that does that? Because there are people who commit crimes every day and they're allowed to pass by the legal system.
Mm-hmm.
No one should get a pass. We wouldn't have a problem with this, that, and the other. White folks wouldn't have to even worry about being called racist if they just apply the same rules across the board.
For everybody.
It's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Can't no white person sit up and sit and say that they have received injustice from a black person.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say that. If you have, please call in.
Exactly.
If you have, because
508
I don't want to accuse everyone. Every judge.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Once again, 508-924-3521. Don't want you to say I didn't know the number. I want to give you the number. 508.
How many black folks you could say down at the county clerk's office didn't want to help you get a marriage license because they don't believe in interracial marriage? How many? None. Our justice is far better than theirs. Because we don't care what color you are.
Yep.
we some hard folks. We don't care what color you are, what kind of job you got, or how much money you got. If you did the time, you ought to do. If you did the crime, you ought to do the time.
Exactly.
That's just the way we are. We don't offer nobody let nobody slide.
No, you don't get no pass.
You don't get no pass. Regardless of what level you at, you don't get no pass.
Exactly.
That's justice. Black folks are far more just than this system that we're dealing with right now.
And we're the ones that get the short end of the stick majority of the time.
Exactly, because you're not in power. That's why you got to get in power.
I heard, I think it was Virginia or West Virginia, one of the two. There was a guy, there was a person that was a substitute teacher. He's a substitute teacher by trade. And he was a part of the January the 6th. He was a part of that. And what he did, he actually ran for political. He ran for the poll manager or whatever it is in his district. He ran for the poll manager, and now he's going to be over the poll. Just think, what do you think? How's that poll going to be manned? How's that poll going to be operated and ran?
Like I know what? Who gonna watch him?
Exactly. He's the poll manager. He's over the poll, over one of the polls there. Come on, man.
And you know, it's so difficult. And this is why a lot of times I will also post my white brothers and sisters that are sick of this. They're sick of it. And this is why I post them just as well, because they have to be at the forefront. Remember, they caused the problem. We had this. We talked about that yesterday.
Exactly.
You're the problem. You're the racist. You're the liar and the deceiver.
Come on, say it.
Fix you.
Exactly. We got a few callers on the line. I think the next one on the totem pole was Toussaint. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
All right, man.
Hey, doing good. You know, this is Way Out Wednesday, brother. And I got a question for you, man. I need you to explain to me, and me and Leonard is talking about this, and Cassandra, we know you're there. We're coming to you next. Why do you think certain part of our society is trying so hard? They're trying so hard to make this January 6th situation just go away. Forget about it. It never happened. It didn't happen. Stop it. Why do you think?
There are some people that figure that they entitled. That all right, so Cassandra must set it on. We're gonna have to go hard today. They want every one of you Negroes to get the hell out of this country.
God almighty.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it. Cassandra, coming to you. Why do you think they want this thing to go away? Cassandra, it never happened. You stop it. It was no insurrection.
Yeah.
We were just standing our ground, speaking our peace.
Yeah. Well, whatever. See, okay, I gotta think, y'all. Don't make me say something off the top, because I gotta think before I speak. Hello.
Come on.
Okay, because I'll say something.
Mhm.
Okay, so these people, you remember the one that was in Pelosi's office and put his feet up on the desk, and he
Yes.
said, "This belongs to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I own this," and blah 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 blah. That's the way a lot of them actually think.
Mm-hmm.
They own this country. And yes, we all are citizens, and Washington is a part, but no one has the right to feel like they own anything
Mm-hmm.
that has to do in that building while they went in there like a bunch of fools. And then here you got millions and millions of people
Mm-hmm.
that believe right now that what they did was okay.
Yes.
They were just showing that, using their freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, all of that stuff, which ain't nothing but a pack of lies. Because the bottom line is, there were people behind the scenes that wanted that to be much uglier than it was, and it was ugly. What I saw, I mean, it literally, I was crying. I was crying for the security there, for the Capitol Police. I was like, what?
What the hell
Are
is
these
that?
people crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yes, they are. Are they crazy? Yes, they are. Because this conspiracy theory that one man perpetrated and got an entire group of people to go along with that is sick. That's what I'm telling you. That's how Hitler did what he did. All he got to do is get some folks to start believing some of what he says, the lies.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what we ended up with. So I believe they did it because they felt like they were entitled to do it, just like Tucson, they felt entitled to be able to crash in there. And if you going in for people, why the hell y'all climbing through windows, breaking out windows, pushing people, throwing stuff at the police officers? Come on now. Come on now.
Absolutely. But Cassandra, they want you to believe that, you know, is that right? We can do this. We didn't do anything. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? Explain to me what we did wrong. We have the right to express ourselves. We have the right to protest and do the things that the American Constitution says that we can do.
Yes, bunch of rebels.
Okay. Okay. I'm not, because y'all not gonna make me cuss. It's too early.
It's too early.
I ain't saying no curse word. What time is it? No, it ain't even 8 o'clock.
Exactly. Leonard, they feel as though they were justified in everything that they did.
Right, and you there, it's all tied together. And when you look and you do the research and you find like the relationships of some of these people to certain other people, and you'll find out why they're doing what they're doing and how they're getting away with what they're getting away with. Not
Mm-hmm.
because of that from that white family privilege. It's
Mm-hmm.
also other things. They have interest. Like, say for instance, you got your crazies, your people that are just, they ain't got nothing else. They ignorant, they uneducated, they low income.
Mm-hmm.
No, they ain't doing too much. So they're gonna be easily attracted to that type of behavior. Just like in
Mm-hmm.
the hood, if you ain't got nothing going on for you, you just gonna start doing something malicious
Mm-hmm.
just to be in some mess. Joe Manchin, who we talked about before, represent West Virginia, the only holdout Democrat to the Build Better plan. You
Mm-hmm.
know
Yeah.
why? Because of coal.
Mm.
His family owns interest in a coal mine
Yep.
that emits more pollution than any other coal mine in the state that he represents.
Mm.
That Build Back Better plan, of course, you know, we're always trying to move towards cleaner energy and
Yes.
lowering our emission of greenhouse gases and everything and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
It would slow that down. But then you have a law that white folks created called blind trust.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say when you ask them about it, oh, I don't know what's going on about it. My family takes care of that. I don't know how much money they make. I don't know nothing
Mm-hmm.
about that. So that don't influence my decision.
Mm.
Yes, it does
Yes, it
influence your
does.
decision,
Yeah.
Mr. Manchin.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly how much money you making from that coal, or else you wouldn't be in that business.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but remember, it's legal.
Mm.
It's illegal. That's why people say, for instance, we talked about the tax returns with Trump. He should have been immediately disqualified. Why ain't that rule in there?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that rule not there that you immediately be disqualified for failure to produce your tax returns when running for president of the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And he made. Remember all the fuss that he made about Obama?
Exactly.
He
See,
made all the fuss.
they're extremely hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
That's an indicator right there of corruption,
Mm-hmm.
hypocrisy,
Yeah.
a blind trust. Really, you don't know how much money you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
And this dude, man, he went so far. I give $1 million if he show his tax. He went so far.
Right.
He went that far. I give $1 million if he show his tax returns. And when he showed his tax returns, and Donald Trump ain't gave him a penny.
And the courts just now stood up against it and dismissed his request to continue to conceal that information.
Exactly.
How long he been out of office? Should have never been in office.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, this type of thing happens at every level.
But then one of the other things that I see, and I'm gonna go to Tucson after this, man, is there was 2 attempts on the table to impeach him.
Yeah.
Neither one of them went through.
No, because half of the government supports him.
Yeah.
That half should be in prison right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't care. You can't say nothing to me that would change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But you all can call 508-924-3521. Our Republican listeners, you call.
Exactly. Give us a call. We want to talk to you.
Give me a great Republican idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not really against people doing the right thing. I don't care what side you on.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's just as wrong for the Democrats to do certain things as the Republicans.
Exactly.
But the Democrats ain't trying to build a strategy to overturn the election if it don't come out in their favor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That stands out kind of to me as a priority number one to be concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's not about how I feel; it's about preserving democracy.
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Phone lines are open. We want to talk to you. Give us a call. Let's talk for a second. Can we talk? Tucson, you think they're gonna call and talk to us?
I would hope so. I don't like calling folks out, but I have somebody in mind.
I just want to hear a great idea, Tucson.
God love him. God love him.
Oh, not Charles. Not Charles. Good morning, Charles. I'm not talking to you specifically, but you're welcome. No, I'm not. I'm honestly, Tucson, I'm not, because I really don't want to hear nothing else he got to say.
I know, we need it. I would be curious to find out how that would go, but the thing about
he already lost. Next.
You look at people, and actually they believe downright that was their patriotic duty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
To do that. They're not. That wasn't a mob. They wasn't what they call them, thugs.
Mm-hmm.
No. These were patriots.
Yeah, patriots.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Same kind of, and I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, but I just called them a bunch of rebels. And I said that because the same way that some folks went on people's property and raped their wives and killed their husbands and sons, on the same mindset that was what year was that? What day was that? On the 6th?
Yes, January 6th.
See, the thing about what it kills me is I think that would be just about one of the most secure buildings in this country, if not the world. Should
Mhm.
be. You don't just walk in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back a couple of weeks or months later. I mean earlier, when they had a movement. They couldn't get in the neighborhood just about because they had police and security guards and everybody else, armed forces and everything, all around the building
Mhm.
to make sure that them Negroes didn't get nowhere close.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Same place,
Mhm.
same area. And look at the difference when some of the security guards should be in jail because they opened the door.
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes, they did.
Mhm.
And then here's another thing that they took the camera off of them. Some of your elected officials was there too.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Absolutely.
And some of them rich folks that stay in good neighborhoods, they were there.
Mhm.
That own businesses. Oh, yes, they were.
Mhm.
I worked with them. Said they went down there too.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they were there. And here's the kicker.
Mhm.
I'm gonna shut up. 45 says, I'll meet y'all down there.
Mhm. Yes, he did. Went home and looked at it on TV.
Ain't that so?
Mhm.
You can make a fool do anything.
Yep. Went home and watched it on TV. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be the best TV you've ever seen. Look at the ratings that we're getting on this. No one has ever gotten ratings like this before. This is going to be so good. Cassandra, I question a lot of times certain media outlets and the verbiage that they choose to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's when it's us with thugs, with hoodlums, with this and with that,
Mm-hmm.
when it's them,
Mm-hmm.
they're patriarchs. They look at them standing up for their country. They're fighting for their rights. They're
Mm-hmm.
real saints. And hold on now, the same acts is being
Mm-hmm.
committed. So how could one group be one thing and another group be another?
Mm-hmm. Because that's the way they want it in their mind, in their imagination. These people are good people on both sides. That's what he says.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know. I don't. The whole thing was a disgrace to this country. It was sickening to me that there were actually people in the Congress that said that these people were just there for a tour,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but they had to kick in doors and bust out windows and crawl up walls to do it. But it was a tour,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were nonviolent.
Mm.
But yet we all saw without. See, that's what I think teased me off more than anything else, because I know that they saw the same footage that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the same footage that we saw. How do you make something good out of what those people did? And then they're calling to hang people.
Yes.
Come on now, these
Yes.
good people now. These
Mhm.
these are patriots.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about hanging people, and I'll grant you 99.9% of those that were in those crowds were Republicans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
help me understand that part. How is it that you guys are literally coming into, I believe they would have killed Nancy Pelosi if they had found her.
Mm-hmm.
I swear with everything in me, I believe they would have done that woman harm. Especially the radical groups that they had, all of them coming in at the same time, people paying for them to come in higher up.
Mm-hmm.
And we know who some of those people are now. It's coming out. Who did it? Man, that thing right there, okay. But Black Lives Matter or any other group protesting around this country that included doing something positive to bring awareness to inequality or injustice to Black people, I promise you, that place, just like Tucson said, just a few weeks before that,
Mm-hmm.
they were pepper spraying and doing all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it was mainly about? Not so much about them getting to the White House. Y'all president wanted to do a photo shoot in front of a church holding the Bible upside down. What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah, exactly. Let it talk to me, bro.
She's so right. And, coming from people who are in the activist community or what have you, we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They just tried to
Yep.
label us black extremists.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were enemy number one. Remember?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We ain't never brought no guns.
Mm-hmm.
None of that.
Thank you.
I mean, what? Come on, man. A lie is a lie. How the old folks say, a lie don't care who tell it.
That's right.
So
Mm-hmm.
one, and I think that's what I communicate, to some certain people when we go head to head this way. I'm right, you wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple as that. You less than. You're a deceiver. This is why I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to bow my head to folks,
Absolutely.
especially when you do up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
I walk right in your office, look you right in your face. I'm about to walk out here and tell everybody you ain't worth a damn.
Yeah. Hey, hey. Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
you had better walk out and say something that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're not gonna like the story I tell. I guarantee you that. Especially if I don't did the due diligence to come here and talk to you and find out the facts and things of that nature. I don't care whether you black or white or candy stripe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure people know who you are.
Exposure. Be
Exactly. That's what we
exposed.
do.
Mhm.
We
Yeah. Yeah.
expose wrongdoing and we bring
Mm-hmm.
public awareness to what's going on so the people have a more informed choice when they go to the polls.
Mm-hmm.
So they know what they're dealing with. You need to know why Joe Manchin is holding up the Build Back Better bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he's doing it. Ain't nobody sitting here getting elected because they want you to think that they good people. These
Mm-hmm.
people don't run for office for your best interests.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure they're insisting if they got an agenda that they follow that agenda.
Absolutely.
That's what the whole campaign is about. Tell me what you're gonna do, how you gonna do it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then you hold them accountable for that. It's not that these people are perfect or anything by any means, but if
Yeah.
you said you was gonna do it, do it. Y'all let some
Exactly.
folks stand and tell y'all the same thing 40 years.
Mm-hmm. Same line.
Same lie, same stump speech they
Mm-hmm.
used for the other position they ran for.
Mm-hmm.
You watch
Mm-hmm.
them. These people run for office. This is what they do for a living. If they fail in getting elected for one thing, they go try to get elected for something else, and they go
Yeah.
get elected for something else, and this type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And this is what they do. Shout out to Vernon Jones. Them white folks never liked you that much. You should have stayed your butt in DeKalb County.
Mm-hmm.
But now you
Yes,
trying to
sir.
trick us.
Yeah.
You know how them folks, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to run for the Republican Party. So if I get elected that way, then I'm going to flip it. And no, you ain't going to do nothing, you house Negro. You will
Mm-hmm.
not do anything.
Nothing. Nothing. You number
I
one
don't
true.
ran into too many of them in
Mm-hmm.
this fight. It ain't always white folks, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nature of corruption crosses the color line,
Mm-hmm.
just like sin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get it twisted. You got to hold your cousin accountable too if he running.
Yeah. Feet to the
You got
fire.
some people win elections simply based on their last name
Mm-hmm.
and who they related to.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they need to be. No, you don't know them because that's what they're about. They're about government. That's what their interest is. That's what they train their children to do and continue
Mm-hmm.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We
Exactly.
need new faces. New
This is,
faces.
and I'm gonna tell you, this is where I went. And Miss Beauty, they appreciate you, Miss Beauty. I appreciate you, Raheem. Yep. My number 508 924-3521 508-924-3521. One more time for the person that did not have a pen. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Derek, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, doing good, my brother. Thank you for the invite once again. Everything
Yes, sir.
is wonderful.
We talking about, man, this situation that happened on January the 6th, and I hate to keep saying it because January 6th is actually my birthday, man. And so, that's the world gonna remember my birthday by this garbage that happened. So that's a terrible thing. But my thing is this thing that happened, this insurrection that happened on January 6th. Why is some individuals, why are they fighting so hard? Why are they doing so much to try to make it go away as if it did not happen? It never happened. It was our political right. We was able to go out there and fight and Derek, what's really going on, brother?
Well, man, that's a great fear that they have, losing something that really wasn't theirs in the first place. The law, I believe, has always been set, for white folks. That's how I look at it. I mean, just from the very beginning, black man looking at a white woman get hung. Things of that nature. Work them till they drop dead. Work them free. Give them the least for the most that they do. Always a way to keep black people down. That only proved to me when they did that insurrection is how much they really are losing their grip in society. So their greatest fear is losing their position, having to share the platform, having to give up what really belongs to everybody. So that's just one.
Hey,
That's good.
Raheem.
Sir?
Good morning, Brother Jackson. How are you?
Good morning, Brother Leonard. It's good hearing and seeing you again.
Good meeting you again. Shout out to Packing Pretty Firearms and the city of South Fulton
What's going on?
they're putting on an event on December the 21st. I'm trying to find it. A gun safety event. They're partnering with the city of South Fulton, and so it's on December the 21st. They got the first session is from 12 to 2. The second session is from 3 to 5, and it's going to be at the Southwest Arts Center. Go on Facebook to you can go to the city of South Fulton's page or that Packing Pretty Firearms page. And this is necessary. I remember I used to shoot rifle competitively on a team when I was very young, around 7th grade. And that's how I learned about guns and doing hunter safety and all those types of things. So I think it is very important that people, if you're going to have these firearms, you need to know how to use them.
Yes,
you need
sir.
to know how to keep them safe. Because one, it's just sad that your child picked the gun up off the table and shot his brother or his sister. Because your gun just laying on the table.
Yeah.
Or you kids is you got to man, let me go ahead and put it out there. We have people in our community that just leave guns everywhere. We know who they are. We know who they are. So you're so used to having that gun around, and now you got kids. Kids having kids usually have a problem with supervision because they usually out of control themselves.
Yeah.
So this is how their kids is getting a hold to these guns in their house. I remember having to let a neighbor know that her son has been in her personal belongings. How do I know what color your gun is? You know how I know? Because he was playing with my son.
Wow.
And he showed my son your gun. Your gun with the little pretty purple plate on it. That one. So when I told the man of the house, you go talk to your woman about that gun that child has access to.
Because it could get
we know how it happened,
dangerous.
man. We know how it happened. We need to do something about that in our communities. Gun
Yeah.
safety is very important. I was shooting since I was 13 years old. Never had an incident. Made sure that other kids knew it because you start hunting at an early age. You teach kids, and they have programs for that. So we need to make sure Packing Pretty Firearms is a LLC here in Atlanta. Want to bring awareness to the situation, especially young women, because young women are often now You can't just be sitting around at night in some places with no protection and all
Mhm.
these types of things. So
Yeah.
definitely go out there, get registered, go to the range and things like that, get proficient and be safe about it.
We're gonna let's switch it up a little bit, and like I said, this is way out Wednesday, so we don't have a topic. We talk about a whole lot of different things on Wednesdays. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much, man. It's a soup, it's a whole pot of gumbo that we talk about on Wednesdays. And I want to ask this question. I'm gonna go to Cassandra first. Cassandra, you being the only young lady that's with us right now, I need to ask you this question. What is a virtuous woman in today's day and time? What is a virtuous woman?
A woman of integrity, character, that knows her worth, that really knows her worth. And I think that is the huge problem with women, period, right now, that they sell themselves too cheap.
Yeah.
You for sale. We got to stop being for sale. We got to stop being for sale. We compromise everything. A virtuous woman will not compromise. I don't care what you present to her. She's not going to compromise the things that she believes in. She carries herself with dignity and respect. And she can be as sexy as she want to be, but you bet not come at her wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just virtuous women just carry themselves a certain way that men know. I can't come at her any kind of way.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for our younger women and older women now, because I really hate what I see, because as a Christian, like I said, people laugh at me when I say I've been celibate 22 years. Why would a Christian laugh when I say I've been celibate? A single woman says that she's been celibate. Why is that a joke? Why is that, oh, I can't go that long? Really? And you're a Christian and really? Okay. All right, then I'm gonna let you have that.
Yeah.
But a virtuous woman knows her worth.
Now, I when I turn on to a site like Instagram or TikTok or something like that, now I see all them ladies. They turn around and they drop it like it's hot and all kind of stuff, man. And now, are those virtuous women?
I can't speak for them, because they may consider themselves virtuous. I just know, for me, that's not me. And I could drop it like I was taught if my knee was better. I probably couldn't get back up, but I could drop it. Somebody would have to help me up. But and I love to dance, guys. Honestly, I love to dance. And a part of our culture, can we just don't be too critical of what we call twerking, because if you go and watch the traditional African tribe, I'm talking about Nigeria, Liberia, Uganda, Ghana. Watch them chicks doing their traditional. I be like, what the what? I mean, the traditional tribal dances. You would think they was at the strip club.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's our movement. It's what we do. But so I'm not going to judge anybody on that.
Okay, good deal. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? What is a virtuous woman? Yeah, I knew it, Linda.
Oh, Lord.
I knew it.
Oh, Lord.
You can't see the forest for the trees.
The trees are okay.
Lord.
I can't say what I want to say.
Well, send it to me. I'll say it.
But I will.
I'll say it.
I will say. Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. What I see most of, and we see 3 and 4 generations popping that coochie on social media.
Good Lord.
Leonard, go ahead.
Lord.
Oh, he's just gonna drop it right there and leave it right there. He just gonna look here and look. And look at and look, my daughter just called in, and look at what she called in to, man. Lord Jesus. My daughter just called in.
But wait a minute. Hey, I'm sorry, daughter. I'm sorry. But the thing, the passage says, who can find a virtuous woman? And I know that there are some.
Yes.
But I said you can't see the forest for the trees, because it almost seems like It's slim to none.
Tucson, let me ask you this. Do you think we overlook the virtuous women because of the fact that there's so much flash and flare on the other ones that's dropping like it's hot and they dress so do we get blinded by the hoopla of the other women and we overlook the virtuous women?
No, I think that depends on your appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's appealing to you? Because I ain't studying none of them. I can't call them that. We can't have this conversation. I can't have this conversation.
let me go to Mary. Mary, good morning. How you doing this morning? Mary?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Asking the question, what is a virtuous woman? What is a virtuous woman?
I may be wrong, but in my opinion, I believe it's a woman that knows what she wants, knows how to love, knows why she loves herself, takes care of herself, it's okay to be by herself, and I'm not going to make it spiritual because not everybody listens. I don't feel like you need to be spiritual to be a virtuous woman,
Mm-hmm.
but someone that doesn't give herself what's for free.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Kurt, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, man? What's going on? Hey, family, how y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, man. Same question, brother. What is a virtuous woman, and does she still exist in 2021?
Man, I don't know right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. In 2021, I don't even know how you begin to describe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how you begin to define that because the virtue of a woman, just like everything else in this world, has changed. Certain things are accepted today that were not accepted yesterday. Were not accepted yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good question because I, in my mind, the real question is what I think has changed in the virtuous woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because the term virtue has redefined itself over the 2,000 years when the idea spiritually of what the virtuous woman was laid out. It has changed, bro.
Mm-hmm. So do you think women have women blossomed? Have women blossomed? And if so, what have they blossomed into?
I think women have made phenomenal steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's an element in society that's dominated by men that specifically work advantageously to push them back.
Mm.
And I think there's an element within that subculture, meaning the female culture, that buys into, that's taking the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So because they're taking the money, or in this day and time, they call it securing your bag.
Mm-hmm.
They're not realizing how morally they're dilapidating the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking a bag, and that bag may be full of cash with 1.5 million. When in reality, if you would have ran with the virtues of old, that bag probably would have been 5 million.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was just having, me and my son was just kind of having this conversation. We was talking about it, but we wasn't talking about it. We was just talking about just things going on in the world, things we see, what we're going through or whatever. And it kind of came up on the backside because, you know, he just got married and everything.
Yes.
And I can't answer your first question, bro. I really can't. I mean, you look at what's going on, right? You see, like, you see like all of these people, men and women, being taken down, for example, by this Me Too movement. And I got nothing but respect for that movement because that movement was needed.
Mm-hmm.
But all at the same time, you also see, from an optics point of view, you also see where that movement won't touch certain people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the movement is picking and choosing who is actually the spawn of Satan and who is not.
Mm-hmm.
But both parties are doing the same thing. You're seeing where that movement has become oh my God, I don't want to get cursed out for this. But the movement appears, the optics of it appears to have been invaded by extreme feminists.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, well, you're moving on this particular group of people, but okay,
Wrap it
if
up
you
from
look
Kurt.
online at any given minute online,
Mm-hmm.
you see nothing but a bunch of pictures of booty and breasts and a little bit of everything else.
Exactly.
You
Let me
can't
get.
help but wonder, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what? I don't know, man.
Good deal.
I don't. That's a hard question.
Get it. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. What is a virtuous woman? What do you say a virtuous woman is? Give us a call and let us know your take on it. Derek, come back, bring your camera back on when you're back with us, brother. I'm gonna come to you. But right now, Leonard, talk to me, brother. What do you say? What is a virtuous woman, Leonard?
Well, unlike some people, I don't have a desire for people to live like I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
I give a lot of, I've never been that type of person in the first place, but women do what they want to do. Women need to look at what they want in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Women need to look at what they want in the end. If you happy, you happy. Being virtuous matters if you want to be married. A lot of times to a good man, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do with your life? Every woman don't want to be virtuous that way.
Mm.
Some women, you look at them as if they doing something like they don't know what they doing, and no, that's not true. They know exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They enjoy doing it. And I don't have, I'm not one of those. And maybe some men can help me out. I'm not at that point where I look at naked women and get offended.
Mm.
I'm just not. I don't know how, I don't look at it as nasty or anything. That's just what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I would never marry a certain type, but some do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got some people, they do all this makeup and all that type of stuff. For some people, that's okay. But hey, that's them expressing themselves. Like I said, I can't marry but one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and worry about what everybody else doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was laughing, Miss Cassandra's talking about dropping this like it's hot with the knees.
Can't get back up.
I'm so over it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so over thinking that with these people who believe that everybody needs to behave the way you want them to.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's
like
good.
I said, then you have the exact opposite, because you have to remember that's an entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got a lot of women out there pretending to be hoes for money.
Mm-hmm.
And you out here being a hoe for free.
Mm. Lord Jesus.
See, some of them women ain't nothing like, some of them women may be nothing like what you see them do on stage. Because they leave that stage and go home to their husband or something of that nature, or their significant other, and go live the rest of their life. They just do that for money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you have to be very careful about who you place value on and what they doing or whatever. Men act like they so righteous when it comes to this. You're not.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
You paying women to do this. You throwing money at their feet to do this.
Exactly.
So don't act
Exactly.
like they so way out the way. They don't lost this or lost that. No, you in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. And Mir, you have a question?
Yes, because I like his answer because I feel like far too often in society, and I understand, you teach your daughters to be wise, and that's beautiful, but I have an issue with the fact that why are we never talking about what is a virtuous man? Why are we never talking about, you know, teaching our men not to be out
That's
there
good.
too? Like, okay, you want your daughter to be this virgin once she gets married. You want
Mm-hmm.
your daughter to be a wife
That's
at a
good.
young age. You want your daughter to act like a lady. You want your daughter to do all this stuff. Why can't a man learn how to be a husband at a young age? Why can't a man learn how to cook at a young age? Why can't a
Mm-hmm.
man learn how to keep his stuff in his pants at a
Mm-hmm.
young age? Why is it okay that now it's like, oh, men are losing their virginity when they're 10, 11, 12, but if a woman does it, it's looked at like, oh, she's been in the streets, she's been doing all this, she's been doing all that. It still have you.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that you have high standards for what you want your woman to be, but you can go out and run the streets? You can go out
Double
and
standard.
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
money. You can throw money at the feet of a stripper, but if I go
Mm.
and I want to be that stripper, you don't want to be with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Double standard.
Why is that okay?
It's it's not.
It's not even something that like you can't want this virtuous woman, or you can't want to be like, oh, I can't turn this kind of girl into a housewife when you out there praising those types of women. You keep
Mm-hmm.
liking the pictures on social media, but if your girl posts a picture like that, it's a problem. you
Mm-hmm.
can't you can't expect something from somebody else when you're not giving that same energy.
Exactly. And to answer your question, it's not right, and it shouldn't be right. And I was gonna go. My next segment was gonna be what is a good man is where I was gonna go, because a lot of times we put we put a lot of responsibility, excuse me, on the women. And I always refer when we talk about something like this, I refer back to the woman that was bought before Jesus in adultery. Stoner, she's a stoner, man. She's committed adultery, man. She's this and she's that. But hold on, now if you want to do that to her, I've never seen nobody commit adultery by themselves. It takes two. If you're going to commit adultery, it takes two. So why is she the only one standing before him? Where's the man? He did it too. He committed adultery, and a question was asked, and Derek, I'm coming to you. If you're looking for a virtuous woman, what do you look for?
Well, first of all, I must concur with the lady. She gave a great definition of what it is. I don't think I could add anything better. Brother
Mm-hmm.
Leonard, he broke it down to exactly what it is, and the young lady just spoke up on it. I don't think there's really too much more I can add to that. I think
Mm-hmm.
they definitely covered it. They definitely
Mm-hmm.
covered it.
Absolutely, good deal,
Um,
good deal.
if we would want to find out what the Word of God says about a virtuous woman, we
Mm-hmm.
can go into Proverbs um, 31 and 10 to
Mm-hmm.
31. It gives us a good break of information of what a virtuous woman is or should be. But let
Mm-hmm.
me put this out there too. Um, as the Word of God has said that older women ought to teach younger women,
Mm-hmm.
older men ought to teach younger men.
Yes. Yes.
And back in the day when I was coming up, I'm 65 now, and when I'm coming up, I saw a lot of good, great men that had values, and they stuck with those values and those moral values. Even women that had values and moral values, we've lost a lot of that teaching in the homes. Um, like Brother Leonard said, um, it's all a big business now. Women, they can go on, YouTube or whatever network we have now, and they can perform things. And he made a point. We look at that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We go to strip clubs and look at that. And then the
Mhm.
young lady had broke it down, but you don't want a woman like that in your home, but you want to
Mhm.
go and pay for one on the outside.
Exactly.
It's not too much more that I can add to distinguish any of that. I applaud those great answers.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico.
Grand Rising and congratulations to everybody on receiving another day of life.
Yes, sir.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, doing good. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Made it to see another one.
There you go. There you go. We're talking about that virtuous woman, Rico. What's on your heart concerning the virtuous woman?
Well, first off, I think the lines have become so blurred through evolution that we have lost track. And Curtis hit it on the head. It sort of started with feminism because it wasn't too logical. I know I've seen a lot of historical footage of women walking around in Woodstock topless in public. Now, in some cases, if a woman does that, she's putting herself in extreme danger. But now that is ignored, But then we have this mentality that if you can't beat them, join them. Or two wrongs don't make it right, make it even. So now since guys were crap and pieces of mess and deadbeats and promiscuous, it's only right for a woman to do it. Or we might say, well, you know what? We can't say what a woman should be. But then we'll go right back and say what a real man's supposed to be. Well, what if those real men go back and use the same excuses that these women use? Or that we give women the excuse to use to say that we can't determine what virtuous is. But so I put that question out there. If you were looking for a wife material, if you had to go out and find a new wife today, if you had to go back, or you would pose that question every now and then, if you had to go back and do the young you, you go back to 20, what would you look for? Because I'm pretty sure you want a virtuous woman.
Exactly.
Now, it has evolved. The lines have become blurred. I'm going to tell you what has happened. A lot of the virtuous women in the act of solidarity since feminism have embraced a lot of these whores. And now they black girl magic too. So they endorse the Cardi B's and they endorse the Megan Thee Stallions, and they still want to respect the Michelle Obama. And as long as you got the Michelle Obamas and the rest of the women that we do have in high regard embracing that, then those lines are going to continue to be blurred and we're going to be out of order. And so now you have an epidemic of women that at one point in time they were ashamed to be pregnant at 15, but now they cool with having 7 different children by 7 different guys. And out of the fact that not only do they try to lie and make it seem like that was intentional, when they find out that this last baby wasn't who the baby dad is supposed to be, the truth comes out that you was just out here busting it open. You was just letting everybody put their seed up in you. And it was just whoever the strongest sperm survives is the daddy. And I find out when we get a test, because I still don't know. It's supposed to be mama's baby, it's been Papa's maybe.
Yeah.
But it's really definitely like that now, because I heard that it's a show because they got on now called Beyond the Pole. And I figure if you had one woman in a strip club that could be virtuous, you had 30 more that were not. But they definitely would try to make you believe they were.
Yeah.
And it is possible for a woman to actually participate in that type of activity, because when I look at celebrities like Rihanna and Beyonce, you have some of these women, they come off like they sing, like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I believe they are exactly everything they sing and rap about. You see it in the video.
Yeah.
But now you can see Beyonce dancing and look back at it, but you could tell that woman ain't got a whole lot of notches on her belt. Oh, she was really a catch.
Yeah.
She was really somebody's wife, not Kim Kardashian. But I'm talking about Beyonce. Out of all these major women idols that are out here for other little girls to look up to, you got 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, one Beyonce, and then the rest of them just thoughts, and they bisexual and they sexually promiscuous. And you cannot be sexually promiscuous and be virtuous. What about the man? We wasn't right. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
So we're gonna continue to be busy out of order as long as the mindset is if you can't beat them, join them. Two wrongs don't make a right, but it makes it easy.
Exactly.
I might as well be like the side chick since that's who they always cheating with.
I'm gonna tell you something, and you said about Beyonce, man. Beyonce, beautiful young lady, man. And I don't have anything bad to say about her, but I've always yeah, absolutely. But I've always leaned more toward Kelly, man. Kelly was more Kelly, my girl right there. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. Everybody got their own flavor. Everybody like what they like.
Kelly was the best one. It's a fact.
Okay. Okay. See, okay. Thank you, baby. I definitely appreciate that because I've always leaned toward Kelly. Kelly has always. Anyway, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble. Lord, my Jesus, let me stop while I'm ahead.
Too late. It's way
too late. And I went. Okay, I jumped over that hurdle.
Yeah, you went too far already.
Good deal. Let me go to Tucson. We're talking about a virtuous man, a virtuous woman, and a good man. What happened? Or how do we get to a place where some of those wires are crossed? You got some men thinking they're virtuous men, and some women wanting to be the man. How do we get crossed up like that?
Influence.
Say it again.
Influence.
Okay, got you.
Let me see if my phone working. Influence.
Yes, sir.
For some kind of reason, and y'all tell me if you can take the scripture out of there if you want to. Let's just, if we can try, but it's in there. You can try, but it's in there. But as long as I can possibly remember, the greatest influence is a female.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the Pope, if we have a high regard for him. But secretly, the nun will pull his chain. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. See, if believe it or not, I used to be a girl talk to me, I'd break out in the sweat. I'm talking about. Talking about shirt wet sweat.
Good Lord.
I'm telling you. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not. Okay, I'm just saying. But
Lord Jesus.
There is nothing that God has ever made greater than a woman. All of these animals and cats and dogs, and I'm gonna have to go back to what I know. I don't know nothing else. And all of this, and nothing was suitable for a man. Then when he woke up and saw her, and he was like, "Thank you, Jesus, hallelujah, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all of his benefits towards me, bless his holy name."
Y'all did yourself. Y'all did yourself this time. Y'all did yourself.
I'm telling you, because even though the chimpanzee and the monkey and the gorilla were similar, it wasn't the same. But I know one thing, that the most powerful man in the world can be or has been brought down by that same thing.
Yep, brought down to his knees. Absolutely. Kurt, talk to me, brother. How did the wires get crossed?
Well,
man I mean, just the human species, period, has. I think Rico kind of. Well, not I think Rico. He did. They all kind of hit it on the nail. Sound to me like, you know, the brother was saying, basically, you know, if everything you're doing is being guided by the amount of money you're making to do it, your ability to remain solid, morally solid, is going to be contested. It's going to be altered because you're no longer being controlled by morals. You're being controlled. Excuse me, I'm checking my trash. Make sure I can log up. But you're being controlled by something tangible or something material, or the ability to gain material things. So I think the way that things got crossed is when man realized that he could control a given situation and scenario, especially he can control a moral compass of a culture if he injected what appeared to be wealth. That's what I mean, if I was to try and pinpoint exactly where the change occurred and why it occurred, it's because folks started accepting money over morals. And you know, I mean, listen, to each his own. You know, if this is what I'm also I'm with Leonard. When, hey, you know, if that's what you do, that's what you do. I don't expect one or the other. Somewhere inside of me, I keep hearing a voice that say, Kurt, you know, it's a beautiful thing to watch virtue manifest. So am I wrong to say or believe that, okay, this woman may not be virtuous now, but to experience or play a part, a lot of times in the population I work with, they're not virtuous, but to experience and or play a part and watching that virtue manifest, it's kind of like wisdom. I don't know of too many people that was born wise.
Yeah.
You know, but when you watch that wisdom come in and start to take fold and start to manifest, and you know that you played a part in that, it's a beautiful feeling. So, you know, like, I'm kind of sitting on the fence on this, but you know what, Raheem, real quick. Well, the last time I read The Virtuous Woman, right? A lot of times we read just that scripture, Proverbs 31, I think it is. Yeah, Proverbs 31.
Yes.
But we don't really read in that scripture. It tells you everything basically that a woman is supposed to do and what she's supposed to be. But there's moments in that scripture where it tells you how a man is supposed to receive that.
Yeah.
And if you go a couple scriptures back, if I'm not mistaken, there's a specific scripture that addresses a man. And it addresses the man, but in the midst of his scripture, it tells the woman exactly what she's supposed to be. You know, exactly what she's supposed to do. So, I mean, to each his own, man. But I just think the moment that man learned that he could interject money and let money become more important than morals is when it went awry.
Exactly.
If you want to call it that.
Good deal. Tucson, you say you had something else, brother? I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish.
No. I was just trying to think about this. Okay, now let's just be men, basically, because we have a thing about ourselves. We don't mind looking. You can advertise all you want, and because we're not blind, we're gonna look.
Yeah.
But when it comes to choosing somebody to walk by our side, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now,
somebody to raise children, somebody to be able to help. Notice I say help cook and clean. You understand what I mean? To bring up a household, they're not going to be showing the world what they're working with.
Yeah,
that's all I want to say.
Okay, good deal. Now, Cassandra, are we sending men? Are we sending mixed messages to these women? Because if we go to the strip club and we spending all this money making it rain in the strip club, and then we go home and say, well, we want a virtuous woman in the home, are we sending mixed messages to the young ladies?
Oh, of course, it's a mixed message. I of course I work with women in entertainment, sex, and exotic dancing, whatever you want to call them, strippers, whatever. I work with a lot of those women over the years, and a lot of those girls let me repeat, they are not whorish.
Yeah.
A lot of them. You have a portion of them that, they'll do it for the money. You know what I'm talking about? Do sex. I ain't talking about dancing.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are there, because a lot of the girls I know were in school, and right now today, a lot of them that I deal with, they're in school trying to do something better, trying to get out of it. But that money, see, that's the love of money sometimes. The word says the root of all this, the Lord. They love that money.
Yeah.
Most trouble, look at this, are the ones that in it just for the money, just for the money, and then they end up getting caught up in all your.
Yeah.
It's smart and it hurts me because not bad. Some of them just straight up poor. You ain't to put it, they straight up poor.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this girl's book, and if some of you all get a chance to read it, you need to get it. The book is called "Can You Turn a Whore into a Housewife?" And she literally is telling her story of how she was into prostitution, and one of the guys that she was with saw something in her. Her name is Latoya Innocent. You can look it up. And that boy stuck with her, and he said, "I don't care. It's something in you that I know that I want to help you. I want to help you." And he stuck with her while she kept just like he would just come and pay her and not do anything with her to show her that he really wanted to see something different from her. And they have now been married, I think, 22 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Beautiful couple. But she came on a TV show that I was producing, and she told her story of how he stuck with her, even though she was out there prostituting, and she had a change of heart because he really pursued her. And they've been married 22 years now.
You are, because actually, Cassandra, you had her on the Morning Glow one morning.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Latoya. Latoya Innocent.
Absolutely. Fantastic story. Fantastic story, man. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it talking to her. As a matter of fact, I might want to talk to her again in the very near future. Derek, I'm waiting for you to come back on camera, brother, so I can call on you. Are you there? I think Derek may have walked away for a second. Mary, what's on your heart?
I kind of had a question.
Okay.
Really, because only you and I on this panel know, the recent things that have happened. But to put it plain for everyone, I was abused, now I'm not, and we called it off for our own reasons. And it's like, based off first, it's like I'll ask God for a sign, like, what should I do? Because I know right now it's not the right time, and I know that's for certain. But it's like, based off this, like Miss Latoya's story, it's like, okay, do you stay and then do you work it out and love them through it till they're ready, or do you leave them and wait till they're ready? Because it's like sometimes you hear success stories like hers, and sometimes you hear that it just never works. So how do you know when to let it go completely and to just let that person figure it out on their own and say, I can't love you through that.
Mm-hmm. The thing about that is, no one could really tell any individual what they need to do. They could give them the advice as to what they think, but that at the end of the day is that person's. They have to make their own decision as to what they do in any given situation. Um, Advice is good. Advice is good, but like go with the heart and listen to God. God, a lot of times he'll reveal certain things to you in a lot of different ways. Sometimes we overlook the ways that he revealed it to us. And so my thing is, and anybody else could comment on it as well, but my thing is, can't nobody really tell you what to do in a situation. Now they could, like I said again, they could certainly give you their advice, and you will receive advice and you good advice. Hopefully, not all of that's good advice. Derek, what's on your heart, brother?
You're speaking to me, Derek?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been listening to everyone's comment, and I remember my mother telling me when I was a younger man, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there's a whole lot of room for improvement on all ends. And I think I also heard you say, how did all this change in terms of,
Mm-hmm.
were you speaking in terms of women uh, um, being attracted to women? Are you on, is that the level
Yeah,
you were speaking?
we're talking about both women being attracted to women and now men being attracted to men. How did all that change? We was talking about a virtuous woman and a good
Right,
man, but somehow the
right,
wires got crossed, and now you got
right.
men want men and women want women.
Well, it's, for me, it's a sad situation,
Mm-hmm.
because I believe that, I know that man and woman were made for each other, not man, to man. But also, I believe in the fulfillment also of the scriptures. Being a minister and being a Christian, I'm reflecting on the word. It says, in the last days, men will become lovers of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and women will lose the natural affection, of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it's like it's like, here we see um, that the word of God, what it's saying in the last days, these are signs of what will take place in the last days. How did it all change? Um, I think I heard someone was saying something like, um, it's more like seeing somebody. It's a new thing. It's a new way. This is the new way of life. This is supposed to be acceptable. Our young men um, are turning to this type of affection, maybe because uh, uh, their low self-esteem. They don't have the father in the house, or the
Mm-hmm.
young woman that that now she's attracted to other women. Perhaps what she has been taught, what she has been seen around other women. We lose the gap when we take our eyes off of um, the true vision of what man and woman is. Someone
Mm-hmm.
hit it on the head. It's about money in terms of the entertainment part, but socially we've lost the we lost the realization of what and how it was all set up. I don't
Mm-hmm.
quite um I can't get with this new fad. Every time you turn the television on, it's two men kissing. It's a
Mm-hmm.
commercial, it's two men kissing, or it's two women in the bed. All this stuff that's just being forced upon people's minds, and we're supposed to accept it when we turn on these new TV programs. That, I mean, they're putting it right in the script. you know, with these new move pictures that we're watching, and it's disturbing because a young boy in the house with just his mama and two sisters, and then he's seeing two men kissing or getting out the bed, and man, it's falling by the wayside because this is what's being taught to them in some instance. It's being taught. Let me say this: we had at one time, you didn't see black men kissing white women, or even in relationships with white women. Now you can turn the TV on, and those little new LMM stations, Lifetime stations, every now and then you will see, you know, an interracial relationship. They push that out there like that, and now they're pushing this new way of living by this television and these writers are producing what they believe attracts people in terms of number, how many people we have watching, and what's the new thing, but it's not right.
Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
First, to your daughter, to answer her question, any burdens placed on you that wasn't of your doing, that has you uncomfortable in a place that you know you don't like it, that's when you know to turn it around. If you can withstand, or a person has you in a situation you're familiar with and you know there's not a problem, you can come back from it, cool. But if you with somebody that got your windows getting shot out, he got your people robbing you, you just don't know what's going on, but you're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, he putting these extra burdens on you, that's when you know to turn it loose. Because you still got to look out for self first. You still got to make sure you're happy. Because if you're not happy, then whatever you're building is not going to be right. But I'm going to get back to the subject. We do have to find it okay to criticize. Now, we ask, where did this go wrong? When everything became, if it made money, it made sense. When everything became sensible, if it was profitable, that's when everything changed, because all of a sudden, you know, like human beings, I'm going to tell you something about human beings. There's nothing more tantalizing than a deep, dark secret or information that you didn't know, especially some personal business. A deep, dark secret ain't nothing. Nothing has your mind more focused on that, curious about the unknown. And so, you know, all of a sudden, you had blaxploitation movies came out because it was profitable. Then you had the music. You had soap operas that were showing women being devious and deceitful on a normal, regular basis. You also had men doing company takeovers and stabbing each other in the back. I mean, you had your Victor died 9 times on Young and the Restless. I mean, you had that. Those people, people got infatuated with soap opera. They would knock kids out the way to get to that TV and sit down for 3 or 4 hours and watch them soap operas, and then get on the phone and gossip about the soap operas. And then sooner or later it transferred into talking about regular people the same way you were talking about the soap opera people. But you see, we sold what went on in our bedrooms. Luke Skywalker sold what he liked in his bedroom. And then, you know, other people sold what they liked in their bedrooms, and it became popular.
Yeah.
You know, Donald said it earlier, influence. But see, sometimes we don't realize what the biggest influences are. The media. Before TV and radio, it was the newspaper. Y'all remember when they did the invasion of the alien, what was that, the UFO invasion in the 40s, and everybody went crazy? They saw then just how much they could influence people.
You talking about Orson Welles, War of the Worlds?
Well, is that the one where they did the radio announcement and everybody went crazy? Yeah. They had a panic. And that really showed everybody then how much pool of media had, how much they could actually influence society. So little by little, they not only did they influence society, but then they found out where it became profitable. So now TV stopped going off at 11 or 12 midnight. It started staying on all through the night. Then people started buying commercial time. Then they start coming up with programming that you had to battle back and forth with about the rating system. Is it rated R or PG? Well, we'll just say PG-13. That way we can show a little food.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can say a few cuss words, and the kids will be just fine. Now, little by little, it has evolved. I said that word earlier. It has evolved. And with this evolution, we evolved and started saying, well, some things are all right. I ain't got room to say this and that. And we'll go right back and talk about what a no good man is. Yes, we have got room to talk about it, because if they don't know any better, they can't do any better.
Yeah.
When you see that these people are going stripping in clubs for money, and then all of a sudden it evolves from survival to just wanting to keep making the money because you ain't never seen money like this, and now you can buy all the things not only that you need, but the things you want. You know, Players Club was really a true rendition of how some people get caught up in that paper, that thing they call money.
Exactly.
So, you know, it became profitable. It became profitable for individuals and corporations to sell deviant sexual behavior. And the more sensational it is, the more tantalizing it is, the more, I'm going to say, taboo, then the more interesting it's going to be. So now it's interesting to see two men and two women kissing on TV. And it's acceptable. But I'm going to look at it like this. I've heard a lot of women in the past say, well, when men do it, why is it okay? But when women do it, it ain't okay. Well, I'm going to put this formula out there. You could take one promiscuous man and put him with 10 virtuous women, and those 10 children will know who their mother and their father is without a doubt. That mama's baby, papa's maybe wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But now you put 10 promiscuous men, I'm going to say 10 promiscuous women out there, and one virtuous man. And that man still might not be the daddy to none of them 10 kids, and none of them 10 kids might not know who their dad is. Now you tell me, even though two wrongs don't make it right, if that's evil.
Exactly. Wow, that's good. That's good. We're gonna keep this thing going. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Badger. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
It's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gonna change up just a little bit, and I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm gonna circulate this. Like I said, this is on Way Out West, so we have a lot of different topics. What does it mean? What does it mean, Badger, to have restraint?
Restraint. Oh, I practice restraint quite often. If it means what I think it means. Like I was, before you change the subject on me, I was sitting here going, how hard do I actually, like, what comments do I want to make on this, on that topic? Because I guess I've grown tired of a lot of the, if it's different or something that people don't consider normal, it's bad, wrong, evil. Based on a book that's been passed down through man's hands and has been altered and changed by man. And it's been used for some of the most horrendous crimes in history, referring to the Bible. Because language change, definitions of words change. So it's just, sometimes it's learning to pick your battles, because some people are so stubborn and think in a particular way that it's better to show restraint and let them fall flat on their face than waste the energy or try to become a stumbling block for their learning.
That's good. That's good. Leonard, how important is it to have, for an individual to have restraint?
I'm practicing restraint right now.
I know where you're going. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I mean, it's just important for people for various different reasons. Restraint for what purpose? Restraint from making them, you know, you should have restraint from making dumb decisions. You should have restraint from making decisions that you don't have enough information about.
Mm-hmm.
Restraint, and from that point of view, restraint is Miss Cassandra practices the ultimate of restraint when it comes to her flesh.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So restraint is different for other people, but it's always going to be you keeping yourself from doing something that is not in your better judgment,
Mm-hmm.
or it might not be appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I'm just listening with this point, but a very simple fact, because, I listen for what other people say in relationships to behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about my behavior because that's what I'm in control of. I don't talk about other people's behavior.
Exactly.
So however you behaving, you get what you put in. I don't even have conversations. Well, men are doing it, women are doing it. You know what I tell women who say stuff like that? You better go solve your own problem, because it's obviously a woman problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like some people say, well, you shouldn't say that or you shouldn't say that. It's the truth. I'm not looking for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So if I wanted a wife, I'm looking for something for me, not for Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect other people's choice to choose what they would. But the problem with women is you want your cake and you want to eat it too. Either you're going to be equal or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it goes. This is the real world out here. So you can sit around and talk about, well, men don't have to do this and men don't have. What you going to do? Don't matter about men. You're not a man, so don't worry about what a man doing. What you going to do? You focus about what you're going to do. That's your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you know how to stay out of mess and stay out of other people's business. Govern yourselves according to the words of God.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I don't care if you don't like it. No, you have a problem with it because you want to show your behind.
Mm-hmm.
You want to show your breast to everybody. That's why you really got the problem, because those are the types of things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely natural to chase after your lust. But do understand what that cost.
Mm-hmm.
You can argue all day about what is right and what is wrong. At the end of the day, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not acting in your best interest?
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says itself, even to you women. I mean, even to men. And this is why I've been in corporate America. You ain't got to worry about me sexually harassing people and nothing like that. Give not thy strength unto a woman, nor the ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Exactly.
So when she come in there with all of it hanging out, doing my office, not even gonna work in here.
Mm-hmm.
You can be butt naked. You can be. It don't even matter to me, because I refuse to give my power to a woman.
Exactly.
Women, you need to act accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so sad, but at the end of the day, you still want a husband.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have to behave a certain way if you want a certain type of husband. I'm sorry, but that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
You can try to change it if it would like. You can go get you a woman, or you can ask a man to marry you and propose to him. You can put it together how you want to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
That's your choice. It's
Mm-hmm.
your responsibility to do what is in your best interest. When I see what I want to see, I hear what I want to hear. I listen to the radio I want to listen to. I watch the TV. I see all these things, but you know what? I don't watch. I watch something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't believe when people talk about what the gay people and the discrimination. You ain't never been discriminated against. You've been doing what you've been wanting to do ever since the beginning of time. You've been kings, queens, and everything else.
Kings.
That's why it's on TV and it's so out now, because you were never oppressed in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they've always been.
Mm-hmm.
The public has just given them permission to be public with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with freedom comes responsibility still, ma'am, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Just because everybody doing it, you're going to do it. That's enough justification for you. Then suffer like everybody else.
Grandma told me one time, everybody gonna jump off top of that building. You gonna jump off too, boy? You gonna?
It just don't make no sense when we have common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know you shouldn't do it.
You're gonna
But you
jump off
do it
that building,
anyway.
or you're gonna use the elevator, or you're gonna use some steps and walk down to the bottom and walk out the front door. Which one you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's so if you don't want to get burned, don't play with no fire.
Exactly.
See,
Exactly.
and we don't need to be like people say. I think I'm responding to another comment about judgment and this types of things or what have. I can wait till he come back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people, the end times. Well, the end times seems like 2,000 years ago too, because they was doing the same thing that you're doing now.
Yeah.
If you read,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the history of people,
Mm-hmm.
this is not new.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your time to do it.
Exactly. Revolving door. Not 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? May have lost Cassandra. Cassandra may have stepped away for a second. Let me go. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
No, they don't hit it on the head then. This has all been done before. It just evolved into different things.
Mm-hmm.
They call it propaganda. And once you put that propaganda out there, okay, like going back to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We know how that was a majority black town, and they had a riot. White people went and did a lot of terroristic things, killed a lot of people because they wasn't in control back in the day when they had most control.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing they went after was the newspaper owned by the black man. That way they could take over the media and spread the message and the narrative that they wanted and influence the masses to believe whatever lies they told, whatever story they told. So we always have to remember that this is something that happens in human beings that influence things.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also get desensitized once what happens behind closed doors becomes private and public and profitable.
Mm-hmm.
When we bring our private desires and make them profitable and then put it in the masses, we end up getting desensitized. It's almost like a gateway drug. You want somebody to convince you to drink alcohol for the first time, before you know it, you don't progress to liquor. You don't went from beer to liquor because now you've been desensitized and you feel comfortable doing it. I'm going to equate this with the first time I went to a strip club. At the time, I was one of the biggest whores. I still had never been to the strip club because I still felt some type of decency about doing what you do in private. Some things belong behind closed doors. You ain't supposed to be standing up in the middle of a crowd, standing up behind a woman doing your thing. What y'all do is behind closed doors. Now, every now and then you might see public displays of affection, and some people might say, go get a room. All because you kissing, but the way y'all kissing, it seems like y'all might want to do a little bit more, and if we ain't careful, y'all gonna do that. Something belong behind closed doors. So I went to the strip club the first time, Blue Flame. Walked around in there, and when I tell you, I know them women knew that I was a square. Because first off, I was passing up dances, and then I didn't want them to catch me looking. But they was walking around for me to look. Then they was getting all the way naked. All the way naked. I still went and look. I was almost saying, I'm like, man, this is a deplorable place I'm in. All the notches I got on my belt. They just walk around natural. They just ain't no inhibition or nothing. Everybody comfortable. I'm erect. I'm walking around that joker, man. I'm all the way in attention. But it's some guys and out, man, just throwing money and they got their head turned. They making it rain. They ain't even looking at this in their face. All this beautiful body. Oh, and then not to mention, they'll bust it open and let you see everything else that you might dream that you could get hold to. The same thing that you look at when you are being intimate with a woman. So now I'm uncomfortable. Took me about an hour and a half before I got my little first $5, a little $10 lap dance. Once I first gave up that first $5, I was still particular about giving out some money like that. I said, ooh, man, this feels like being a John, a trick. this don't feel right, man. I'm paying to see this, and I see this all the time without even trying.
Mm-hmm.
I used to laugh at these cats, man. They just a little stupid up there giving their money. Before you know it, I got a little bit of alcohol in me, and I turned into the life of the party.
Mm.
Before you know it, I was desensitized, and I became a regular. I was up in that Blue Flame in that Magic City, started walking strippers up out of there, having relations, not relationships, relations.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing was, I went from one spot of being uncomfortable and not even being able to look at women that's walking around naked, want me to look at them for my money, to condoning it, and then actually started recruiting women to take them over there. Girl, you got strip club body.
Mm-hmm.
Can you dance? I can hook you up. You want to make some money?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah, money, money, money. Some of them, that's why they were interested. Women from Alabama never thought about stripping, but all of a sudden in this new era, it was like late 90s. Everybody wanted to be strippers because it was glorified. It was acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Society has changed. Now these women are respected for walking around showing their body because they getting money. It's profitable. Now
So,
some of them may have done it out of survival, but some do it just out of the fact that it's the easy way out. And they just using what God gave them. They shaking what their mama gave them. And they so comfortable. Sometimes if you see them in the dressing room back there in the back by themselves, they just slap and touch on each other like it ain't nothing either. The same body parts that you're supposed to turn each other on with and start creating children with, they just flaunt it around and play with it like it ain't nothing. Yeah, look at my birth canal. Woo, look at it. Look at this. This is where babies come from. Bust it open. Look at it. Can't touch, can't touch, can't touch. Okay, you can touch it. You got a little bit more money.
Wow, wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. So it's good to have you. We're talking about restraint. Toya with a T. How important
what?
Restraint? How important is it that a person have how important is that a person have restraint?
Depends on from what? Just restraint, from what? I think I'm gonna put restraint in the same category with self-control. And it depends on what it is. You know what I mean? Restraint against what? Are we talking about moral ethics? Like the stripper thing? That's a morally ethical thing in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go way back, they had concubines, honey, and 17 wives and all that stuff there. Who knows? I mean, back then, heck, we didn't have clothes no way, but it wasn't much clothes, But, we know that the kings had, women that they did what they wanted to with because they were property. And I believe the spirit of that nature that man set forth way back then, it still kind of lingers within our spirits and souls. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we allow things to happen, restraint. So I do believe it's important to have restraint to keep you from touching a child. A lot of people, I can't do that, but you don't know what's in their mind. You probably did look at a child before and like, oh, golly, they look good. But you just got restraint not to do it. You got restraint not to do it in front of somebody's face. You got restraint not to restrain from giving into your wills and desires, especially if they're going to be self-destructive. You know what I'm saying? So I think restraint is very, very important. But now, like going back to Rico with that stripper thing, in this world, movies like Players Club, the psychology behind what they put on TV, what they put in our everything. It's coming from the air, it's coming from the stuff we use, it's coming from the food, it's coming from everything. I think the influence has helped us choose more morally unethical practices for survival or anything else.
That's good. That's good. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Curtis, coming to you next. Cassandra? Cassandra may have stepped away for a second. Kurt, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I mean, the brother, everybody done kind of took that thing. You know, we didn't talk to the max on it.
Mm-hmm.
If folks don't understand it, it's because they don't want to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for some people, that life is comfortable. So doing anything outside of that it makes life difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some people just don't want to live. Some people don't want to live a life of difficulty. You know, my thought is rather simple. You know, you do what you do. You know, whatever floats your boat, floats your boat.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that is morally, if it's something that has the potential to morally bankrupt you, or if it's something that has the potential to cause you a great deal of stress and personal hurt, then if you're going to participate, then you know what? Accept the fact that you made a choice to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nobody's fault but your own, because
Yep.
you made the choice to do A, B, C, or D. You made the choice
Mm-hmm.
to be a male stripper or a female stripper. You made the choice to indulge in things that would morally bankrupt you, that things that would cause you trauma psychologically. And I think all too often in this society today, we have made a lot of excuses for some folks' trauma. And some traumas is brought on by other people, true indeed. But what happens to the day when here's how I thought. What happens to the day when people become what happens to the day when people stop caring about the trauma of others? Where does that leave you? Where does that leave you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I stopped indulging in heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was morally bankrupting me. You know, that's one of the reasons why I stopped selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was morally bankrupting me. I did not feel good about what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always felt like an outsider because I had homeboys that'll sell dope to anybody. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not selling dope to my man mama.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not selling no dope to no pregnant woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that. You know, so I just think the time has come that, you know, it's time for us as human beings to start recognizing, okay, yeah, it's easy for us to blame somebody else, but the truth be told, some of the stuff we doing to ourselves, man.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Our participation in, some of the stuff we doing to ourselves, man.
Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Mary, what's on your heart?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just
Cool.
listening.
Okay. Good deal. Toy, you with a T?
I did want someone. Sorry. I did want someone to put more input on my question, though.
Say it again.
More. On my question earlier, like, when do you know when to let go, and like when do you know when you can't love someone through something, and when do you know when you can?
Hey, Raheem, can I answer Nishi?
Yes.
Yeah, and can I say something when he's done?
We've been trying to call you, Cassandra. We thought you were gone. Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Curtis. Cassandra, come to you next.
And Nishi, Rico kind of hit that bullseye right on the top. At the end of the day, irregardless of how somebody make you feel, you gotta love you. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot put the love of anybody else above the love of yourself. Because the truth be told, if a person is making you feel like you have to love them more than you love yourself, then how much love do they genuinely have for you? That's the question. The bigger question is, see, it sounds like a game being played, right? And the game is to make you evaluate how much you love them. All right. So if that's the game, then right off the muscle, that tells you that this person is a narcissist. Because the real, in my brief time on this earth, the real object is not for me to find out or make you have to love me, but it's for me to love myself. If I can love myself, then the genuine love is going to flourish between me and you. So it sounds to me like somebody's trying to play the game, like I don't know how to put it, but they're trying to minimize or make you minimize how much you love them to make you feel guilty. They playing a guilt trip.
They trying to take.
I think Rico.
They trying to take. They're trying to take you from a queen to a pawn.
Yeah. And the object is, if I can make you feel guilty about the love that you have for me, then you don't even question the love that I have for you. And that's the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's all game. That's all game. It's like I know Daddy taught you how to play checkers and chess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I might jump my bishop out there. I might slide that pawn and jump that bishop out there, right? But I got my queen set wide open. So I might jump that bishop out there, hoping that you take it, because what I really want is your knight. But you just see, oh, he don't put a power piece out there. He don't put a bishop. You don't even realize that I'm going to checkmate queen to king. Checkmate. The king can't move nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a game that a lot of narcissists run. They always want to make you feel like your love for them is less than their love for you, and they want to make you feel guilty for that.
Mm-hmm. Cassandra,
that's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Cassandra.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing. Whatever his intentions are for the relationship, at this point, because a decision has been made, you need to focus on you. If this is the one for you, I'm just saying, if this is the man for you, then God himself will give you the answers as you seek his face. Now, how will God do that? Either he'll let something happen that will trigger you and say, oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was waiting for. Or he'll give you a peace and wait. Because sometimes we need to wait. Sometimes we need to move forward. And sometimes we just need to say no. Period. Like, no, this is a no-go. But only God can show you that, Mern. Only God can tell you, okay, this is not the man that I have for you. And that's the bottom line. That's what you want to know. God, is this the person that you have predestined for me to spend the rest of my life with? Be imperfect right now, but if he's the one that God wants you to be with, then God will show you that, and then he'll begin to change and do what he needs to do. But I can't tell you, your daddy can't tell you, nobody on this line can tell you what you need to do, how to tell. You have to seek God's face and let God reveal it to you. And he will, because he loves you and you belong to him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the advice I can give.
Good deal. Good deal. Now I'm ready to go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T.
Yes, sir.
I need to ask you a question. I need you to educate everybody that's listening. What is the difference, or where lies the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding?
You know, you can ask some crazy questions, sir. Okay. You said, what's the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding?
Yes. Is there a difference?
Well, you know, that's yeah, I think it is. That's 3 categories. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, knowledge you can gather from anywhere and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Being knowledgeable, you know, a little bit about everything, but ain't did nothing. Don't mean you wise. You know, wise, I believe, falls in line with the choices and decisions from a positive aspect, being wise enough to be able to know the difference between getting ripped off and the real deal. You know, you can have knowledge, but it doesn't mean that you're wise. Okay, so I believe that wise means that you're headed in some kind of positive direction. Now, understanding and comprehension, I think that's where we drop the ball. These people these days, they can't, I don't know what it is, but it's like we just don't understand. That common sense shop shut down in 79 because, baby, the comprehension and understanding of some people. So without understanding, you know, like understanding is to be, you know, the ability to be able to know or, you know, get with or understand, which I don't know another word for understand, but you know, like, you know, a completion, you know, a way of being informative, right, on certain things. But again, in this day and time, it's like, you know, the understanding is circling around sex, drugs, and I don't know, I guess sports. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to understand anything other than that, or entertainment, being a rapper. Like, that's the only thing people can comprehend these days. We can't comprehend morals, values, or respect. You know, so understanding, man, is a deep thing. And I don't think you need knowledge to be able to understand certain things or people. Like a kid gonna understand you, but doesn't necessarily mean they need knowledge, you know, and you don't necessarily need wisdom. So
that's
it's
good.
A threefold thing.
Good deal, good deal. Tucson, what do you say to that, brother? And Badger, coming to you next. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Is there a difference? And where lies the difference? Tucson? Tucson, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Rico, explain it to me, brother.
Oh, I thought you was going to Badger.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sure did. Badger, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
You're saying wisdom, knowledge, and what?
Understanding.
Oh, man. To me, understanding is what we learn growing up. Understanding how to be respectful and honorable and why the rules are in place. Knowledge is, you know, learning the depth of it. And wisdom is living it.
Okay. That's good.
You know, because a lot of times, you know, some of us have knowledge, but it's the wisdom part. You know, that's why we go to elders and things, because they have the wisdom. They've lived through it. They have the experience. They have a deeper, better understanding of not only how to handle certain things, but how to live through the struggle to some degree. And to me, that's a big difference between knowledge, because I can read a billion books and have knowledge on what those books teach, but if I don't know how to implement into any of it, and all I can do is answer questions, you know, is that truly wisdom?
That's good. That's good. Rico, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Is there a difference? If so, where lies it?
Yeah, they are different, but I think they sort of tie in together. Like with knowledge, Knowledge to me is somehow like knowing where the source of something came from, know the origin or the history of something, you know, in that type of atmosphere. Then when you go to wisdom, the wisdom is used to maneuver around that knowledge or to maneuver in everyday life. You have the wisdom to know what you need to do to survive and be safe, protect yourself, profit, or accomplish whatever goals you want to accomplish. Then understanding, to me, is having a relation, being able to relate to different outcomes and understand consequences. You know, comprehension. Toya hit that. But I also want to go with compassion and empathy. Because sometimes it takes compassion for you to understand somebody else's situation. Curtis brought that up a second ago. Caring about other people's behaviors or whatever. If you don't have the will to be open-minded, or even put yourself in someone else's shoes or relate to their situation, you'll never be able to understand what they're saying when they're talking to you or where they're coming from, their point of view, their angle. So, you know, that's why I think all of it is different, but they are somewhat related.
That's good. That's good.
It's like almost saying, when I said that earlier with the consequences, you know, we heard a long time, 2 wrongs don't make it right, but it make it even. We've heard a long time women say, well, why was it when men did it, it was cool, but women didn't? And then we complain about 16% or 14% of households having mothers and fathers. Or we talk about all these children that's had by one woman but got 6 or 7 different dads. So I put that out there again, understanding the consequences behind that mindset. It produced what we're looking at today. So I'm gonna put this question out there again at just this point. If 10 promiscuous women had sex with one virtuous man, it's still a very big possibility that those children will never know who their father is. But if one promiscuous man had children with 10 virtuous women, all of those kids will still know who their mom and their dad is.
Exactly.
That's something big for people to understand when they say, why is it acceptable or not acceptable? Ain't nobody saying it's acceptable. We're just saying that if this other side decide to go and practice the same behavior, the consequences can be a lot worse.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Leonard, I'm gonna put this up there. This was posed to us on somebody on Facebook user. Read that for me. I'm gonna let you comment on that. Then I want to come to you with a different question about this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Knowledge is knowing there is a star in the sky that lights up the day as the world turns. Understanding, being told that the star is 93 million miles away and still provides warmth. Wisdom is knowing that God is the center which lights up your world, but realize the physical star is what he has given us physically to know his glory and power.
Do you agree with that?
I don't have to. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't, but you know, just a fact. It's just a statement.
Exactly. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Of those 3, which one holds the most value to you?
I'm a big fan of knowledge. Knowledge, because I like facts. I like evidence. I like education. I like being able to analyze data on issues and drawing a conclusion from that data. And making decisions based on that data, especially as it relates to my understanding on where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to do, and things of that nature. Could also be applied. You need these things in relationship. And I was sitting over here just laughing when you said earlier, because what do you expect? I think that would help a lot of people. What do you expect? Ask yourself, what did you thought you would see, Rico, when you went in the strip club? That's why the Bible says, abstain from the appearance of evil.
Mm-hmm.
Just abstain. Just say no. So I know exactly what sin looks like. I am very well acquainted with sin. So acquainted till I have no reason to deny it or pretend like it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to sin.
Mm-hmm.
Accept it.
Yeah.
You choose to do it.
It's a choice.
It ain't magic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then to act as if you so shocked by it. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. I mean, I don't cut no corners. I don't cut corners with nobody about it. And I used to tell my friend, I'm a preacher's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one thing you learn early on as a preacher's child, the difference between right or wrong. Those are going to choose to do one, and there are some that are going to choose to do the other. But regardless, you're responsible for that choice. But you're not going to come in here talking about what you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I never was in that type of environment. So I knew that people were doing certain things. Like, say, for instance, if you want a certain type of woman, you know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
you know how to get what you want. Like Brother Kurt mentioned about the drugs. He just came to himself. He's just evaluating, like he said, he's just destroying his experience as a human being. It wasn't working out for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the characteristics of sin. It start just not working out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, and to Miss Mary or what have you, and anybody, you don't owe nobody no explanation for why you decide to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's in your own best interest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not telling you something I heard. I'm telling you something I know. Wake up in the morning, I look you dead in your face. You know what? I don't want to be with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My bag was packed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna let you, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, it's over.
I mean, anytime I remember with my wife I have now, we've been married 22 years. And when I first met her, it was nothing like it was today.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me tell you, I had rules. I like to have a good time. If you come over here for anything else, don't come.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear about your ish. This is sanctuary for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to have a good time. And if you interrupt my sanctuary, I will get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Good deal.
I'm very strict about certain things like that. And I think that people should get involved in putting some rules up.
Okay. Let me do this. Rico, I think Rico wanted to say something about something that Rico, did you want to say something? You had a response?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I knew what was going on when I went up in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like before a person ever smoked weed or take a sip of alcohol, smoke a cigarette, or hit some crack.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen crackhead before, but they still have it, and they have an idea in their head what that experience is like.
Mm-hmm.
But then they really don't understand until they go through that experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I did know what I was going to see, but at the same time, as my heart was beating a little faster going into this place, I didn't expect to see it so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I had an idea in my head. Okay, I'm going up into the strip club. But I didn't know just how the lifestyle and atmosphere was. I had never been in there before.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, you know, that's a human experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to have an idea about something, and it might be positive, might be negative. But you still have no real idea of true understanding until you go and put yourself in those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's where understanding comes in at, being able to try to relate. I know people that signed up for the military and they thought they knew what was going to be involved in it. You know, they went to war and they had an idea when they were young what war was all about. But then when they actually got involved in it, when somebody that was standing right next to them got their head blown, their brains blown out from long distance, now it hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew we were going to go over here and do this, but I didn't know this is exactly what it felt like. That's just like you could see somebody kill somebody, But then when they actually go through it and do it with their own hands, they didn't even know that they weren't going to be able to sleep at night. So, I mean, you know, that's the experience and understanding thing. If you don't have that experience, you know, you try your best to try to understand what a experience will be like.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing like going through it yourself. You know, I didn't go in there completely naive, but I did go in now feeling guilty about going in there.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
So what he was true about is that I did know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, by me indulging in that I really wasn't comfortable with, I got desensitized and became comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And became a part of that lifestyle and indulged all in it. I actually participated and contributed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how easy it is to get caught up. But you know, just thinking about that with understanding, you know, that is the thing about it, is sometimes we might understand how something goes, but we'll never get the true understanding until we experience it firsthand.
Exactly. Let me go to Cassandra. I'm going to Toya with a T. Cassandra, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Which one has the most value to you? Cassandra? Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. I think we lost Cassandra. We should have her back in a little bit. Talk to me. Which one has the most value to you? Knowledge, wisdom, or understanding?
I would say wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
One reason why is because it makes me think about what Solomon asked for. I think that was Solomon. He asked for wisdom. Okay, so when he asked for it, God gave him wisdom in all things.
Mm-hmm.
The wisdom to understand situations, probably even if he's never been in them, you know, and the wisdom to be able to make sound judgment, make the right choices and decisions, make godly choices and decisions. But even in the mix of that, even some of them make some poor decisions on their own time. Don't say it's God. Don't say it's God. You know, so it's wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm going to connect with you to a question that Mary asked earlier about knowing when. You know when in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking for answers outside of you. It don't matter. Everybody can be like, oh, yeah, stay with him. If you don't want to stay with him, stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
God has already given you the wisdom on what to do. Only thing you got to do is do it. God already gives us the understanding, oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not even with knowing why we understand, but he's giving it to us. And it's up to us to take our dominion and make action on it. You know, so again, I think that wisdom is something that we should put above
Mm-hmm.
the other two, only because I think you can use it as a guide. And I think wisdom comes straight from God. So whatever it is that's going on, I believe that wisdom will guide you to the who, the what, the when, the where, the why
Mm-hmm.
of whatever the situation is.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Oh, knowledge, wisdom, or understanding? Which one has the most value to you?
Understanding. And can I very quickly just read something? And this will sort of, this is one of my favorite parts to study when it comes to wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So I'm sorry. So knowledge is a collective information and facts acquired through education or experience.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is awareness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then wisdom is the quality of having good judgment based on the knowledge that you have.
Mm-hmm.
If knowledge is power, then wisdom is your choice to use that power.
Wow.
To use or apply it.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding is the ability to understand one's knowledge and choices. It is the realization of your decision. It is knowledge and wisdom put in action. So to me, I love this explanation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because it gives you a clear-cut picture of what each thing is. And then understanding is the ability to understand one's knowledge and your choices.
Mm-hmm.
It is the realization of your decision.
Wow. Send me that. I like that.
Yeah, I love it. I've studied it for years. I love that.
Good deal. Leonard, what's your thoughts, brother? We're going to transition. You know, we're going to transition over to something else as well. So, what's on your heart? Toussaint, coming to you next.
I'm listening. It's good that I like what Miss Cassandra just said,
Mm-hmm.
because one, it takes that in order to really get on the right track. And I wish just people would not ignore it. The problem is people ignore and go the opposite direction of that.
Yeah.
No one's trying to really, I mean, I believe in people being masters of their own fate. So one, it's your job. It's your responsibility in order to preserve yourself to gather knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And so when you see certain things or do certain things, like say, for instance, talk about the strip club thing, because I haven't been to a strip club in maybe 27 years or so. It's just really not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not my thing for several reasons. But you know what? Rather than going in there trying to point this, that, I'm just not going in there no more. You know, I used to have you do different, not just to look at the women, but businesses as well. But it's just became something I no longer wanted to be associated with. So I put that behind me. And lo and behold, over 20 so years have passed. I ain't missed nothing. You know, and like I mentioned earlier in the conversation about pretending this, that, or the other, I've always, that third eye always been open. Because there was a lot of things that I may not see or know, but that third eye will let me know that something ain't right. You know, follow your own intuition. What did you think? It's like now these women want to convince you to believe one thing when you see another. Come on now. You're not making a fool out of me. That's what these men have to understand. Don't be made a fool out of. And if you find yourself winding up the fool, you need to change the way you do business. If you always caught by surprise, if you always ain't nobody, you know how people just say, well, ain't nobody told me nothing. Why ain't you go find out? Or is you the person that's sitting and wait for somebody to tell you something? Or you wait for somebody to tell you something that's good or bad before you do it? Or you, for some reason, can't deal with what you're doing. You know, I've heard that too. I don't really want to do it. But yes, come on now. Just don't do it. See what happens if you don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to drink. You don't have to do a lot of things. You do them because you want to.
Yeah.
You're desirable. And we need to talk to people about dealing with that desire to do these things. As opposed to how somebody else doing them. You can always say, oh, I sin because she naked. No, that's not why you sin. But that's the way a lot of us live. If that wasn't there, I wouldn't have sinned. Come on now. Yes, you would have. It'd probably been a different sin, but you would have sinned. Everybody's seducing you. Everything somebody say to you, they flirting with you. Everything, you know, everybody's always trying to get you from being so holy. And now you did something that you never heard somebody say, you had me using language I heard my neighbors use. My mother used to have a saying about relationships: don't let nobody love you any kind of way.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. I just ran across this article here, man, and this is the way out went. So we talk about a whole lot of different things. So I'm gonna jump onto this. Human.
We're gonna be way out of. We've got a whole 15 whole minutes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're doing good,
man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, we trying to do something around here today. Trying to do something. Look at human remains found 40 years ago, identified as a member of the OJ's R&B band.
Somebody ain't want to split the money up. I'm just making a joke.
Lord Jesus.
I shouldn't.
It goes. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. If my computer will stop doing what it want to do and let me do what I want. There we go. Partial human remains found in a garbage bag nearly 40 years ago have been identified as belonging to Frankie Little Jr., a member of the R&B band, the OJ's, according to police. Found his body in a garbage bag. And that goes, and the reason why I wanted to share that, the reason why I wanted to go there, Rico, that actually goes back to what we talked about how we have been treated many years, and that's over 40 years ago, and it's still the same thing holds true today. When are we going to? When is it going to get better, Rico?
I mean, man, I can't even relate that story to the question you asking, though, because I don't know what else happened with that. I mean, we don't know why he came up missing, how he came up missing. This might just have been an accident. You know, a football player died of a seizure in the shower. I mean, you know, had nobody found him, and somebody went in his house and found him 10 years later, like they did that guy in California about 3 years ago. What can you say?
Yeah, but my thing was they found his body in a garbage bag, man. Somebody had to put the body inside a garbage bag.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and after that, what can I say? I mean, who did it? Was it his mama? Was it his children? Was it his wife? Was it one of the singers in the old days? I mean, what we gonna say? Was it LeVert Daddy? Well, we looking for something sensational. It ain't nothing else we could go off of. But I mean, I can't say nothing else about that. Not even what happened in the past. I mean, because it might not even be a racist incident. It might not. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be foul play, but it could have been for whatever reason. Maybe somebody wanted his spot. Maybe it was the guy from the 5 Heartbeats. They kicked out the group.
Lord Jesus. Okay,
I can't say nothing about it, but I want to answer that last question you asked, though. I think all three of them, you got to have an even balance of all three. And then I'm basing it off of what. Well, I'm not basing it off of what the person that posted and then Reddit said, but that was sort of going through my mind. I thought about human evolution and where we came from the wheel, all the way to flying into space right now. Took a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to get to where we are, compared to not having air conditioning and central air and heating and all that stuff. I mean, there's machines. Where we are today, compared to where history, we know where history came from. We came from horse-drawn carriages to cars that could do almost 300 miles per hour now. So, that was a balance of all of them. And when you think about the biggest picture of all, with all this knowledge, we found out that our sun was a star. That took an extreme amount of knowledge to understand that our sun is a star just like many other stars, and we found out that these stars have a depth. So it was wise for us to understand that we needed to make technology so we can find a way to preserve life in case this star decided to go supernova. With the understanding that we have to come up with this technology and utilize it the right way so we can preserve life somewhere else if possible. All of that is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for the existence of mankind to keep going, for our survival. All three of them have to play an equal part.
Absolutely.
Because you can have all that knowledge and not have any wisdom, and we just go extinct on this earth. But with the wisdom and the understanding of the fact that ain't nothing more important than this gift of life, then now we have evolved and come to a point where we have a goal, and that's to make sure that we preserve the existence of mankind.
Absolutely. Tucson, which one is more important to you, knowledge, wisdom, or understanding?
Understanding.
Why so? Why so?
Because look at all the knowledge we have. Just like Rico said, I'm not going to repeat all he said. It took a lot of wisdom to get that done. I mean, hey, we can go to Mars, but why in the world? Make me understand why we spend all of these trillions of dollars to go get a rock.
Don't make sense.
You understand?
Yeah.
Out of all that we know, all brilliant people in the world, and we can't get us to give a clear answer. Give me some understanding of what's the purpose of it all. I mean, if I can understand, I mean, just tell me. mean, here's the questions that we ask about all that we talked about today: love and relationship and different subjects. But at the end of the day, do we have any understanding of it all?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I give myself. I mean, I tell you, I tell you, you know how much money I have burned up to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I mean, that's just me. I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes I get lost for words when I hear some things.
Look at no,
Especially how we've come to the point that we're so brilliant, we're so smart, we're intelligent as we can possibly be. But now we have come to the point that men don't, people don't even want to be who they are.
Exactly. Misguided, man. Thrown off. How the old folks say, you know, they're a little throwed. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Cut it out, man.
Man, I almost want to say wisdom. Being able to put the knowledge and understanding together. And being able to implement it in life. Hearing the awesome stuff that a lot of us share in knowledge and the knowledge that's here and the wisdom that's here. And a lot of our understanding because we've experienced it. You know, it's crazy how much some people have such a misunderstanding of judgment of others.
Hey.
And what I'm meaning by that is you can never know where a person is at without getting to know them. It don't matter what their preference is. If they're gay and not gay or any of that kind of stuff, you know. A good person is a good person. And that's kind of where I've always, viewed things. And, a bad person is a bad person. And it's simple.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of depth to it.
Exactly. That's good. Mary, what's on your heart right now?
My first answer was understanding. Now I'm not sure which one is more important because I get what everybody's saying and how each one could be the most important. I think my thing now, the most important is the willingness to change based off your wisdom has told you after you have the knowledge and understanding of something. I think all of them are equally as important, but you could have wisdom, you can understand something, you have the knowledge, and then you can understand it, and it can give you wisdom, but if you don't do anything with it, what good is it?
That's good.
Because broken people have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but hurt people still hurt people. So I think it's the willingness to change is the most important.
That's good. Toya with a T. Toya with a T, you there? I think we may have lost Toya there for a second. Leonard.
Sir.
How stubborn can we be?
Very. I can be very stubborn when I want to be. I can be very stubborn.
Lord,
I'm not like that all the time, but I can be very stubborn. It's a complete difference because usually I'm very easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I don't want to do something, what is
It's just it.
that's just it. It's just it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I can be very stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I take it to extremes
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. You can be if I don't even want to see you, I just pretend you're not there and you disappear.
And you could be standing right in front. You be standing right in front.
You could be standing right there. So I can be extremely stubborn about lots of different things when I want to. But usually, it's me, I'm usually because I'm usually being kind of goofy about stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
just seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
I can't stay mad a long time or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it usually don't work. So it's usually just me being silly about something. Stubborn is I'll wait for somebody else to describe stubborn because it could be different for other people. But
Watch
stubborn
this.
is just not wanting to do something. I think does stubborn mean not doing something you supposed to do or
You might call my name.
Yes, we sure did. We sure did. We sure did. I'm actually
right there, Toy.
I'm asking a question,
Do
Toy.
what I want to do.
What? How stubborn can we be? How stubborn can we be?
I know about y'all, but I can be extra stupid stubborn. Know about y'all. I'm a little stupid stubborn on that part because when I know what I know, you're not moving me. You're not moving me. When I know what I know, yeah, I'm stubborn. And sometimes just because I don't want to do it just because it's you, I ain't going to do it either.
Yeah.
My son is a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Taurus. I'm going to go ahead and be honest about it. I'm stubborn. It's H-E double hockey sticks. Ain't that what they call it to be nice about it?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not ignorant.
Lord Jesus.
So
That's why I like Toya, man, because she for real with it. You know
exactly. We ready.
Now you can be ignorant and stubborn. For instance, you don't want to take your blood pressure medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not that kind. I'm not stupid stubborn for what's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when I know, you're not moving me. And I'm gonna use this as an example. I don't care what you say about black folk. I don't care what they do. I'm for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna represent them.
That's stubborn.
I got some issues with it too. But you're not moving me. I'm stubborn when it comes to black people because you're not getting into me with everything we done been through 5, 6, 7, 800 years. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So certain issues, especially for the righteous issues, absolutely I'm stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's my middle name. Look up stubborn, you're gonna see me cheesing with a short haircut right there.
with a short haircut.
I don't think it's good or bad. Good or bad. It has its place though.
Oh yeah. Cassandra, how stubborn are we?
Why you ask me? Oh, I'm actually born April the 26th. They say that we are some of the most stubborn people on the planet, and you're probably right. So I can be extremely stubborn, like Toya, especially about things that I'm passionate about. You're not gonna move me. You're not gonna move me.
Exactly. Rico, finishing it up with you, brother. I gotta go to Badger as well, but how stubborn could we be?
Well, we can be so stubborn to the point where we almost self-destruct.
Mm-hmm.
We can contribute to our own downfall because we desire some of the things, or we enjoy some of the things that really are harmful to us. We still like chitlins, we still like cigarettes, we still like beer, hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't like going to the doctor periodically, annually.
Yeah.
We still out here just having unprotected sex and leaving babies everywhere, and not having, children in 2-parent households. I mean, we're stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
We like doing what we do.
Yeah.
And that's the way the society is set up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You only live once, YOLO.
Yep.
And with us only living once, we want to do what we want to do.
Want to do it all,
even if it hurts us sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mary, how stubborn are we? Mary? I think Mary might have stepped away for a second. Badger, how stubborn can we be?
I mean, we're human beings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the lessons of life to get back to creator, you know, depending on the situations. That path back to creation, you know, is covered in teeth marks and claw marks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a whole lot of people that went on, you know, immediately went, yes, sir, and dropped everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of us, it took us a while. It took us a couple years or a few years, you know, to stop drinking or whatever our vices and issues or problems were. You know, we fight all along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Even when all this information or can be presented to us, you know, some people can be so stubborn that they'll ignore evidence,
Mm-hmm.
like proper documentation that literally supports the opposite of what they're saying, you know, but they'll be so stubborn in their mentality that they won't change a single opinion.
Exactly. That's good. Now, Rico, I'm coming back to you just for a quick second. Were you being stubborn the other day, man, when you was talking to the ESPN guy and you had everything lined up? I'm gonna go to ESPN. I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna show you. Were you being stubborn, brother?
Say it again.
When you're talking to ESPN guy and you was talking your point, and he was right, but you didn't know he was right, and you was like, man, look here, I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna show you, man. I'm gonna show you. And you went to Google and he was right.
Exactly. That's what I was doing. I was being stubborn. I was standing my ground because I felt like I knew what I was talking about.
Lord.
So, you know, to prove my point, I wanted to go and Google it.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good to get to the facts.
Yes, sir.
But that was a good thing about it, is the fact that I appreciate being right more than I like being wrong. So when I went and found out I was wrong, that was another issue of you being stubborn instead of looking it up in the first place. But sometimes we think we know.
Exactly. And a fight out point to the end. It's just good that, you know, when it's proven that we're wrong, we can admit that we're wrong, apologize, and hopefully keep it moving. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Toya with a T, can you pray us out, sis?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another glorious day. We want to ask you to continue to guide us and help show us the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And you know what? Any kind of stubbornness that's not of you, Lord, we need you to remove that too. But in the meantime, between time, we want to thank you for keeping us covered and protected. We want to thank you for allowing us to have these conversations that will hopefully break some yokes that help us serve better. In Jesus' name, we come to you in honor, mercy, and praise. Amen.
Amen. Been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is 10:04. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug, because you never know, it could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you for the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might get some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. Love ya.